The 900 series belt cutter is designed to safely and accurately cut belts up to 1.5 inches or 38 millimeters thick, while significantly reducing operator effort. Start by taking your tape measure and marking the actual center points at intervals of 1 to 2 meters. We recommend a distance from the intended splice area at least 3 times the width of the belt. Next, using either a steel rule or a chalk line, mark the average center line through the points, measured and marked in the previous step, Step 2. Using a square, draw a line perpendicular to your average center line across the width of the belt. To ensure an even more accurate measurement, especially when attempting to square a belt with worn belt edges, and instead of Step 2, mark 2 lines, B and C, parallel to the center line and equal distance on both sides of the center line and in an area that intersects your intended splice. Next, measure back from the intended splice area a distance approximately 3 times the belt width. Once this approximate point has been located, mark it on the center line and drive a nail or an awl through this point. Using the nail or the awl as the pivot point, swing an arc. The arc will intersect with lines B and C. Align a steel rule through these points or intersection. Mark a line through these points across the width of the belt to establish a true square. If the belt clamp is fully engaged, make sure you release the pressure of the belt clamp by turning the belt clamp knobs counterclockwise. Only a small amount of pressure will need to be released from the belt clamp to allow removal of the belt clamp beam. To remove the top belt clamp beam, you will need to push down on the clamp release levers. These are located on each end of the cutter. It is easiest to release one side of the clamp beam at a time. Be certain not to grab the serrated belt grips on the top beam and take caution if the cutter blade is exposed. Once the clamp beam has been removed, retrieve the drive handle from the storage area located on the cutter. Place the drive handle on the drive shaft. When possible, position the drive handle on the same side you will be operating from. If the cutter blade is not already located at the opposite end of the cutter from which you will be working, turn the drive handle to relocate the cutter blade. Make certain the cutter blade has been located safely in the guarded upright. Place the bottom cutter assembly under the belt. When working on a conveyor structure or bench top, it is always best to have a flat, stable surface to cut on. To reinstall the clamp beam, the labels on the right side of the clamp beam and the right upright must match in order to reinsert the clamp beam. Note, the cutter clamp beam cannot be reinserted backwards. Position the belt against the cutter upright opposite the side the blade is resting. Before tightening the clamp bar, align the marked cut line on the belt with the blade guide edge located on the cutter base. After the marked cut lines has been aligned with the guide edge on the cutter base, tighten the clamp bars by turning the clamp knobs clockwise. It is very important to tighten the clamp knobs evenly until uniform tension is achieved across the full belt width. Once the belt is in place and the clamp bar is engaged, begin cutting the belt by turning the drive handle. Turn the drive handle until the cut has been completed. Ensure the cutter blade is fully enclosed in the guarded upright. To release tension from the clamp bar, turn the clamp knobs evenly, counterclockwise, until tension has been released from the clamp bar and the belt. To release the clamp beam and remove the belt from the cutter, you will need to push down on the clamp release levers. Be certain not to grab the serrated belt grips on the top of the beam and take caution if the cutter blade is exposed.